Okay, this is part two of my comic book collection. Now, I hope people enjoyed the first part. First of all, I want to apologise if I'm coughing and I sound a bit croaky. I'm just recovering from the flu. This is probably about the second time I've got one in the last 3 or 4 weeks. So please bear with me if you hear me kind of coughing. I don't know if I've got a slight sore throat and my slight blocked up nose, and don't know if I've got a chest infection. So I do apologise if I sound a bit croaky. I've got a drink with me so that during when I'm doing all the comic stuff that will help my throat a little bit. But anyway, we shall start the first set of our comics, and this is issue 74 of The Flash. This is from, I'm trying to remember, this is from 2001. And I think this is when Geoff Johns was on board. But yeah, as you can see, this is trying to get into this is the Wally West Flash. So Geoff Johns was the writer and Scott Collins was the penciler and Doug Hazelwood was the inker on the actual comic. So I remember this. So the artwork is like pretty cool and that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's issue 74, and then it condenses this issue a new villain and a new home for the Flash. Because also I think the Wally West Flash was mostly in Keystone City. So then we have here issue 34 of Green Lantern. And then this is the Carl Rayner Green Lantern, and I think this was drawn by Daryl Banks. I really love his artwork, and I really loved his artwork on the Green Lantern issues, especially with the Carl Rayner Green Lantern. There's something about I just love his angular drawings on his characters. He kind of he gives it this realistic kind of a look to the characters, but yet they still got this comic book kind of feel to them. But yeah, I really loved his artwork and the way he draws Carl Rayner and the way he draws the Mask. Sorry. So yeah, I just loved his artwork, and I actually do miss Carl Rayner having his own comic series of he's back around now. So yeah, that's issue 134 of Green Lantern. So these comics are coming up to, I'm trying to think now, maybe, well, the Flash one, it's 2001, so it's nearly 22 years old. I mean, it doesn't feel like it, believe it or not. With with that much time going by. This is Supergirl issue 4, and then I'm trying to remember who did this. Was it writer Peter David and Gary Frank doing the pencils on? I remember this iteration of era of Supergirl, and I really loved the artwork. For those who don't know, there were two Supergirls. There's the one from Krypton, and then there was an alien Supergirl who was a proto. It was a protoplasm, and then that alien could change form. And then what ended up happening is that alien, obviously the Supergirl got killed in was it in '85 in the Infinite Crisis on Earth? That one got she died. And then this alien shape shifted into being the new Supergirl. And then I'm trying to remember what happened. The alien Supergirl merged with a human character, so it ended up becoming a new Supergirl. So when she was a normal human being, she looked like the human version, the human that she took over. And then when she changed into Supergirl, she actually looked like Supergirl. So I don't know what they did with that version of that character. But I really loved the artwork. When they did this series. I do have the first issue of this version of Supergirl, but I'm told it's worth quite a lot, quite a lot of money these days. But so I've put it up somewhere, but I don't remember where. Because it was so popular, what they ended up doing, the issue on Supergirl, that they did a reprint of the first issue. But I actually have the first edition version of that particular comic. So, oh, this is a classic. I think I'm trying to remember what year. I think this was. This is the Flash, and then this is actually. I can put this here. This is actually the last issue of the Barry Allen Flash, because what ends up happening is that, if I remember correctly, the storyline is that I'm not sure if people are aware of the storyline where it's a storyline where also Iris, the Reverse Flash, is kills Iris West, and then what ends up happening is that it's found out that that Barry Allen kills Reverse Flash as revenge of killing Iris. And then he gets, and I think he gets taken to court for murder, which I think he didn't really kill him, but you know how the Reverse Flash is, trying to set him up. And then what ends up happening is that Barry Allen ends up living in the future, and then actually changes his appearance, and then somehow Iris's consciousness travels into the future, and then goes into this dead woman's body. And then what ends up happening is that Barry Allen lives he lives for a few years in the future with Iris, and then obviously that's when he ends up having kids, and then he has the Tornado twins, and then eventually after that he goes back, and then he gets killed in Infinite Crisis. So that's how you end up getting characters like Impulse and the Tornado twins. So this is actually the last issue. So I think this is from 1985, I think. Sorry about that. So this is kind of how old. It's a double-sized issue. So as you can see here, he's wanted. He's wanted for murder. So you see Barry Allen there. I don't know if he does it himself, but he ends up having bigger than me. He ends up changing his appearance, and then you can see Reverse Flash there, as you can see, and then the Rogues Gallery there with Mirror Master. But yeah, this is an old comic, which we might delve back into this. But as you can see, Barry Allen has actually got black hair. He's changed his appearance. So yeah, I almost forgot that I had this. But yeah, this is the last issue of the Barry Allen before he dies in Crisis, and then he comes back in the year 2000 under the storyline Flash Rebirth. So what I might do is I might go into more depth about that particular issue in a separate video. But I'm gonna carefully put this back without trying to cause any damage. And then we've got here issue 118 of Green Lantern. And then again, you've got the Kal Rayner, and then you've got Wonder Girl from the Teen Titans. And there was a kind of a love triangle between Wonder Girl and Jade, who is the daughter of the original Green Lantern, Alan Scott. Again, writer Ron Mars, and again the fantastic pencils by Darryl Banks. And to me, right, obviously you've got the Hal Jordan and the Johnny Stewart Green Lanterns, but I really loved the modern what's it called again? Green Lantern. Over here. So you've got Kara and then you've got Jade, who we have seen in the TV series Stargirl, but she's not green. But yeah, I really do love the artwork of the Car Rainer of the Green Lantern of the Car Rainer one, so that's kind of cool. It says torn between two lovers, Day of Judgment. I think this was a storyline that was going on. I'm trying to see what year this was. This is 1999, so trying to think. This is nearly going up to 23. This is probably nearly 24 years old. So as I said before, these are some of my older comics. And this is what issue. This is issue 16 of Supergirl. As you can see, obviously that's Supergirl there, and then that's Carol Danvers. And remember what I said about the protoplasma alien that was Supergirl, that shapeshifted Supergirl. She merged with the human called Carol. I don't remember her name is Linda or Carol, one of the two. And then obviously she can change into her now. She can change into Supergirl. So we got that there, and then obviously you got the advertisement there for Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, which I don't know if that was any good or not. So yeah, so that was that's Power Girl there, who's actually Supergirl, but an older version of Supergirl from another universe. So see what year this is from. This is 1997. So this is more than 26 years old. I tried to keep most of my comics in the plastic bags, but obviously that's whether or not I still have them or not for all of them. But I try to keep them in good condition. Okay, this one's a bit. We have here issue 69 of Supergirl. So that's let's see what year that is. This is from 2002. And having another drink. This is a comic called Exiles. I've never heard it. I think this is the one that my brother bought. It's from Malibu Comics. I think it says here issue 1. I can't see the year in which this came out in, but you do have an advertisement for the Super Advantage for the Super Nintendo. I never had that, but it's probably really expensive now. I have here issue 1 of the Justice Society of America, which is pretty cool. And it says that the original Super Team returns. So that's pretty cool there. And you got an advertisement for Top Gear for the Super Nintendo. For those of you who don't know, I think, if I remember, the Jay Garrick, I think some of the Justice League Society, some of them disappeared. They were in limbo somewhere. So the Jay Garrick Flash was missing for years, and then they ended up bringing them back. So I might do an in-depth video on that, perhaps. This is issue 113 of Green Lantern. Again, this is the Kara Rainer Green Lantern. Again, it's written by Ron Marks and artwork by Daryl Banks. And this is this video called Effigy. He's basically this fire-based villain, and then he can construct stuff similar to the Green Lantern, but it's obviously it's fire related rather than light related with the Green Lantern. There's a bit of tape, and I can take this off without damaging it. So yeah, you can see that tape fully off. Let's see what year this is. looks like 1999. So that's quite sizable. These are sorry again, are older comics. Alright, we'll get down some of these. So I can adjust this a little bit. Okay. This is issue 22 of Superboy, and this is obviously the clone one from the death of the from the death of Superman, where the Cadmus Lab cloned him, and obviously he's got the classic get-up of the jeans jacket, and it was drawn by one of my favorite artists, Tom Grammett. I don't know if people appreciate this the artwork of because I think he ended up joining the Legion. He became an honorary member, if I remember correctly. But I love the artwork of this Superboy, because I remember Superboy's first appearance. This is the character Knockout. She's a stroke anti-villain or anti-hero. But yeah, I just love the artwork of it. I do miss. I've already bought obviously he's known as he got given the name Connor Kent or Connell. I do miss the artwork, the original artwork of Superboy, the way that that Tom Grammett drew him. Don't get me wrong, the ones that I draw him good, still draw him good, but that's is the Superboy that I grew up in. I actually liked this Superboy. He had the attitude, and you know, I just, again, the artwork, and that's Killer Frost there. So that's issue 22. I'm trying to figure out what year that was. I can't really see it. What year this came out because it's so small. But yeah, Superboy, but people might not have the clone version of him. He's one of my favourite superheroes that I loved in the late 90s. So, see what other ones that we've got here. There's another Superboy one. We've got another Superboy one here. This is issue 46, and written around by Ron Martz, and then inking by Doug Hazelwood. And then you can see obviously that he's upside down, and the cover art's by Tom Grammett, but the inside art isn't. So as you can see there, obviously that's borrowing Batman Robin. So that's issue 46. See what year this was. Yeah, this was 1997. So that's pretty old. And we have here again Supergirl issue 22. That looks pretty cool here. Trying to see what year this came in. This may be, I think it's maybe 996, I think. Not 100% sure. And this is The Flash. I'm trying to see what issue this is. I think this is issue 132, I think. Pretty striking artwork there, written by Grant Morrison. And then the artwork is by Paul Ryan. I love this artwork in the comics. Now, if you're wondering as to why Wally West is wearing has got a yellow suit, if I remember correctly, he ended up, and they haven't done this surprisingly in the TV series, even though it's too late now because season 9 is the last one, CW. He ended up breaking. Something happened where he was fighting against a villain. He ended up breaking both his legs, so obviously he couldn't run. So what he ended up doing is that he ended up using the Speed Force to create a aura around him, a suit, so he was able to run even though his legs were broken. Although he does have speed healing, but having both legs broken is going to be a bit of a issue for him. But I do remember this issue. It's all coming back now. Yeah, but that was pretty cool. Let me put this back. This is issue 80 of The Flash. And the previous issue before this was there was a storyline where obviously Barry Allen died in Infinite Crisis. And then obviously Wally West, whose Kid Flash, took over as being the main Flash. And there was a storyline where Barry Allen came back. Obviously this was during the 90s. This was before Rebirth. But then the Barry Allen started acting really weird and acting cold and strange and hatred towards Wally West. And then so it happens where you end up thinking where Barry Allen abandons him, and then Wally West basically fakes his death, and then Barry Allen puts out his broadcast to say that that Flash is dead, and now he's come back. That he's come back to also to take over as the main Flash again. And the twist is that you find out that it's not actually Barry Allen. That it's actually Reverse Flash who changes his face to look like Barry Allen because also Barry Allen was his hero, but he wants to destroy Wally West because he's jealous of him. Now, in the original storyline, what was going to happen is that it was going to be the real Barry Allen that was going to come back, but then they decided to go against it and then change it. So, for whatever reason, but yeah, this is an absolute classic. I remember this because this was set afterwards. I put this one in there. And this is issue 177 of The Flash. Again, this is the Wally West Flash. You got the character Chuck there, who's actually in the TV series, but they've changed his character a little bit. Well, his appearance anyway. But yeah, this is the Wally West Flash. I don't remember what year this one was. I'll take a look at it. Well, you can't see it. Yes, yeah, this is from 2001. Yeah, so this is over 22 years old. As I said at some point, looking back on this comics because I haven't touched them in a while. It only seems like yesterday. That I read those comics. This is Green Arrow, Volume 2, Issue 11. And then, if it does seem familiar with us, it's was it Kevin Smith, because I think he wrote the comic for a while. So that's pretty cool. This is still inside the bag, not being opened, so I'm gonna leave it as such. But as you can see, yeah, I'm trying to see what year that was. I can't really. Yeah, this is from 2002. So that's kind of cool. Sorry again. This is issue 4 of Sovereign 7. This is Chris Claremont was involved in this. I don't remember how long the issue Sovereign 7 ran for, because obviously this was obviously Chris Claremont was known for doing stuff, if I remember, do stuff with Marvel, and I think with the X-Men. So Sovereign 7 was basically DC's kind of version of the X-Men. But I do have the first issue around somewhere. we have here Teen Titans issue 21. Now, the initial, the lineup of the Teen Titans of over the years from the 60s to current present day have always changed. And then this is when they brought it back in the the late 90s, but it was a completely different group. So you didn't even have Nightwing in it. So it was a completely different group of characters that were in this. So yeah, this is part 1 of Titans Hunt. Again, this iteration of the Teen Titans, I do have the first issue somewhere around this might, well, the title of this particular comic might seem very familiar, and this is issue 15 of Young Justice. Obviously, there's a cartoon series based on it, so that's kind of cool. I remember, I think I got the first issue of that as well. So, really enjoyed that series right when it came around, and it's still around. Obviously, they brought it back now, as you may have seen, under the Wonder Comics banner. We have issue 2 of the Eradicator. Now, I don't know how much people may know, but you may know of the Eradicator in the Return of Superman, where there were 4 Supermen. There was Cyborg Superman, Superboy, obviously he's the teenage one. Steel, who was in a suit, and then the Eradicator looked like Superman, but he wore these glasses because his eyes were sensitive to sunlight. And further back in the comics, he was a piece of Kryptonian technology, and then he was an enemy of Superman. Currently, I don't know what they've done with him now. I've seen him about, but there's been different versions of him about. This is issue 2. I do have the first issue, and I do have the complete. I don't know how many comics they made of the Eradicated series, but I do have all of them, and I do have the first issue around somewhere. This is from, I think it's from 1996, I think. But yeah, I enjoyed that series. But basically, I think the Eradicator merged with this guy who had a family, so it's a struggle between the two personalities. This is issue 67 of The Flash, and this is Abracadabra Returns. And what I will say about this particular comic at the time is that it was written by Mark Waid, and the artist who drew The Flash in the early days of the Wally West Flash, his name was Greg LaRocque, and he was one of my favourite artists that back in the early 90s that I loved, who drew the Wally West Flash. And then this is when Wally West got his new costume, which he got in issue 50, where they basically changed the I'm trying to think if I get a better picture here. As you can see here, what they've done is that they've made his suit a lot darker, the emblem a lot bigger, the lightning bolt on his thing is different, whereas on the original Flash costume it was a belt. And then it's obviously the suit's just a lot darker, and then they whiten his eyes, and the actual wings on his actual cowl are actually a lot longer. So yeah, I really enjoyed the way they drew his new Flash costume, and then the actual artist in question. So, and obviously it's the return of Abracadabra, who we have seen in the Flash CW show. Then we have here issue 106 of the Flash. Again, it's the Wally West Flash. So that's pretty cool. This Speed Kills. Just trying to see what year this came out in. Can't really see it properly. Here. This is issue 80 of Green Lantern, and obviously it's still the Kyle Rayner one, and that looks like Dr. Light. Well, the first version, because there actually was a second iteration of Dr. Light. It was a woman, but that was actually a hero, but obviously this one's a villain. So this is issue 80, coming up to issue 100, which I do have somewhere. And that issue 100 was actually a very special comic, because that's when Hal Jordan was came back. This is issue 95 of Green Lantern. Again, it's the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. Is it Green Lantern versus Robot World? But what I liked about the how Kyle Rayner Green Lantern is that he didn't have the training like the other Lanterns had, so he had to sit there and kind of find his own way. And because he was a artist, his constructions that he made from his ring, right, made him. It was really good in the constructions that he made from his ring, because obviously being an artist. We have here issue 58 of Green Lantern. Again, the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern. Quick look here. See. Again, I love the actual artwork. This is when he was going out with Donna Troy, aka Wonder Girl. And I really love the artwork. Issue 83 of Green Lantern. This is Retribution Part 1 of 3. Written by Ron Martz and Darryl Banks doing the artist, and Tangala as the inker. But I really love the artwork on this. I just love the blacks and the greens. It just gives it this metallic kind of a finish, and it looks really nice. When I get the time, I might go back and start reading the old ones again. This is issue 110 of the Flash. As you can see, that's Jessie Quick. Very different to how she looked in the Flash CW series. So that's pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out what year this is from. I think this was 96. I'm not 100% sure. Issue 75 of the Flash, and then you got Jay Garrick, Wally. You got Jay Garrick, Barry Allen, and Wally West there, and it says Barry Allen is back. Remember what I was telling you about Barry Allen returns just a few minutes ago, and then what ends up happening? So this is issue 75. This is obviously drawn by Greg LaRocque here. Just look at the artwork. This is why I loved his art on the Flash, and why even now I still miss it. It's just the attention to detail on the actual face and the actual suit and the muscle tone. Just looks absolutely fantastic. Right, you've got the Barry Allen Flash. Moves up here. You've got the Barry Allen Flash, and then you can see that the suits look so different. So you've got the three Flashes, three different generations of Flashes working together. You got issue 2 here of Batman, The Dark Knight, and David Finch on there, and Scott Williams. This is from 2011. You've got here Adventure Comics here. And then you got the last stand of New Krypton. You got Superboy, well, the Connor Kent one, obviously wearing his that may look familiar to people who've watched the Young Justice cartoon, because he's gone through different costumes over the years. Now he's back to his classic costume. This is Young Justice issue 9. You got the Tim Drake Impulse there, and you got Superboy. So that's issue 9. Issue 14 of Batwoman from the New 52. Look at there. So the costume does look like the the comic book, the TV series, and just like the TV series, or she was a lesbian, so at least that's accurate. You've got Superboy. I don't know what issue that is. It doesn't. It's Superboy issue 93. Joker Last Life, and you can see here that his costume, he changed his costume, so it's kind of very different now. You got the tales of, this is from Adventures of Superman. It's issue 556, and then this is when Superman got split into. Superman became first. Superman became a energy being, so he was so he couldn't. I don't think he could touch anything. And then something ended up happening where it split him in two. So you had the Superman Red and Superman Blue, and then they were both the same person, but their personality traits were different. So the Red Superman personality was had certain traits, and then the Superman Blue had another one, had different traits. Obviously, all the traits that made him Clark Kent, Superman, got split down the middle. I do have the first issue of when he turned up, and then I think you got this 3D comic of Superman Red and Superman Blue, and then with the glasses. But I remember the 3D glasses, but I remember them not actually working properly. But you know. And then again, you've got issue 113 again of Superman, and obviously of the two Superman Red, Superman Blue, and as you can see, they even changed his symbol. I kind of miss them, the Energy Superman. Although the Superman purists probably won't like that. And it's a starring the sensational Superman Red. So yeah, I mean, again, some of these are bringing back memories, and it's definitely me making me want to read off comics again, but there's just so many in so little time. This is issue 9 of The Flash, and this is part of the storyline Dead Heat. And you got Impulse, Jesse Quick, Jay Garrick, and that's the Wally West Flash again. Now, that's the comics I showed you a while back with Jesse Quick. That's part of the same storyline. So I don't remember what the storyline was about on this. So I'm gonna have to catch up on that, and maybe I might do a video on that particular storyline if I can find all the comics. I mean, because they're all around, all over the place. They're not in any order. But we'll see if we can. We'll see if we can find them. Yeah, the Jesse Quick one I showed of the Dead Heat. That was from issue 4. This is issue 53 of The Flash. Is this the end of the last boy on Earth? Because I'm trying to remember that something happens where, I know after issue 50, Superboy gets lost, and then into this prehistoric part of the Earth. So I remember that. And then that's when Tom Grummett was still, so that's issue 53, so that's when Tom Grummett was still drawing Superboy. I can't say what year that is. But I do remember that storyline. Okay, this is issue 168 of The Flash. And this is the Wally West Flash again. Sorry about that. This comic's a little bit damaged, but one day if I can find it again, I'll buy another version of it. This is issue 8 of Superboy. So unfortunately it got damaged. And then this is part of the 0 Hour. That's issue 8, and that's the Superboy Prime. So I'm gonna have to see if I can find a new version of that comic, because unfortunately these things happen. Okay, this is issue 502 of The Adventures of Superman, and this is part of the Reign of the Supermen. So this is when Superboy meets Supergirl, but as of all, this isn't the original Supergirl, it's the plasma alien Supergirl that can shapeshift. So obviously this is just right after when Superman dies, and then nobody knows who the real Superman is. So I can get this back inside the comic. Alright, we'll do that over another time, because pain in the ass to put that one back. I mean, this is Superman: The Reign is Over. This is Superman issue 107, and this is the trial of the Superman. Now you can see you got Superboy there, you got the Cyborg Superman, and obviously take his full identity, and then you got Steel there. So that's gonna be, and then obviously Dan Jurgens involved in there. You have issue 48 of Supergirl. That's coming up to the 50th mark there. We've got here, I think this is issue 200. Trying to read what this is. Well, it's in the 230s, and it's the return of the Spectacular Spider-Man. So that's kind of cool. We have here Justice League issue 26. That's Vixen. We have Earth 2, it's part of the New 52 series, issue 3. Obviously that's a retelling of the Alan Scott, but this done on Earth 2, but a more modern version, and I've got the advertisement for The Dark Knight Rises. We have here another milestone, should I say. This is issue 100 of Superboy. So the exercised 100 issues. So that's pretty cool, yeah. That's awesome there. In his new costume. We have Superboy issue 33. This is part of the Final Night mini-series. We have a first issue, Nightwing and Captain Boomerang Jr., as you can see there. This is issue 3 of Superman, the Man of Tomorrow. And this is the trial of Superman. I think Tom Grummett drew this. Yeah, it's when Superman was going. I think I remember Superman was going through his. Yeah, this is not soon after him coming back from the death of the return of Superman, after him dying and then coming back, and then he was going through his long hair phase. You have here issue 32 of Supergirl. Issue 11 of Impulse, because I remember, I forgot that he had his own comic. And this is part 5 of the Dead Heat, part 5 of 6 of the Dead Heat storyline, which was featured in the Flash comics the 2 comics that we saw. We have here Young Justice issue 32. This is Young Justice issue 33. Okay, we'll come up to the last batch of comics here. We have Justice Society issue 10. Obviously, you've got Jay Garrick there. Hourman. I think it's Hourman. We have issue 1 of Justice Society of America, featuring the Flash. This is issue 1. It says part 1 of 8. That's pretty cool. I don't know what year this was. 1991. So this comic's old. Make sure that take care of this comic. We have Justice Society of America, issue 9, with the Alan Scott and Guy Gardner Green Lantern. We have issue 4 of Justice Society of America. It says trapped by the Ultra Humanite. And from most of you may want to know how the name Ultra Humanite seems very familiar. Is that he was the villain, well, one of the villains of the final season of Stargirl. So I say actually using a Justice Society of America villain in the Stargirl season 3 final season. So that was kind of great. Okay, we've got here issue 5 of Justice Society of America, and again featuring the Ultra Humanite, who looks pretty much, you can see they looks a lot like the one in the Stargirl season 3. It's kind of very impressive. Let's see if I've got any more here. Okay, we've got the last couple here. We have issue 164 of The Flash. Again, this is the Wally West Flash. This is 187, issue 187 of The Flash. And I think that's Gerda, who's been in the Flash CW series before. Obviously, different appearance to how they were in the CW series. Issue 180 of the Flash. That character Peekaboo's been in the has been in the has been in the has been in the CW Flash series. And I think he actually got looked at rare mark a bit like her. Issue 171 of the Flash. I don't know if this is Cicada, yeah, who was a villain in the Flash as well. In the CW show. Okay, my last couple of comments here. This is Flash issue 1. This is Flash issue 87. It's a Christmas rush, so it's kind of ironic because obviously we're coming up to Christmas now. Again, this is the Wally West Flash. And then finally, let's just get a grip. This is the Flash. Again, the Wally West Flash issue 91. So written by Mark Waid. So yeah, so that's is part 2 of the collection of comics. There's gonna be a lot more to go through, and hopefully I'll be able to do a better presentation, because obviously, as I said before, I'm just recovering from the flu. So again, I do apologise if there's any off-putting coughing or anything else, or sniffling. So hopefully when I do the next batch of comics, I'll be a lot better. So anyway, I do hope people enjoy this, because as I said before, people have been asking for it. Please feel free to share and to like this video with your friends and family, and if you can give this video a like, because it will help people find me on YouTube, because obviously being a small YouTuber, and the YouTube algorithm's going towards the bigger YouTubers. If you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care, bye for now, and wherever you are in the world, please stay safe and stay warm. Bye for now.